me say a special good Friday morning to one and all. It's Friday the 3rd of November 2023. How's everybody doing this morning? Hope all is well. First, let me say good morning to my listeners. Classic Radio 105.5, 105.9. How's everybody doing? Hope all is well. Those of you viewing GBN TV, Channel 7, Channel 11, Channels 20, good morning. Our social media platforms, whether you're on the YouTube channel or the Facebook page, good morning. Welcome. Those of you via GBN's webpage, gbn.gd, good morning to you also. Welcome. I'm your host, GT. I'm going to be with you here on To The Point for today, Friday. I was expecting some guests in studio with me this morning. Was waiting for them a wee bit. Haven't seen them arrived as yet. I'm not sure if they're going to be turning up or not. So we actually got to kick things off. And if they do come in, we certainly will entertain them. So we're going to kick this off with the usual on this morning. Should I say usual? It's not unusual, but it's going to be an open line after all. 435-2041, 435-2041. Interesting week in Grenada thus far. Although it's not the entire end of the week as yet, but for some folks. It's been interesting. Lots have happened during the course of this week, and if you care to chime in on some of the events that took place this week and you want to speak about it, feel free to do so. 435-2041. Don't forget to keep your comments a bit brief, please. I beg of you. Keep your comments brief and go with the theme. To the point. Let's take our very first caller. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
This morning.
Good morning to you. How are you doing this morning?
Good. I just trying to make a complaint. That's people that taking people land in St. David.
It has. I'm missing the start of your conversation. You're saying?
Okay. No, it's some people that trying to take people land in St. David.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. A guy that called Shea Charles. He take my grandparents' land and he swear it and he says his and I'm planting thing there.
Well, have you spoken to the authorities pertaining to that? There's authorities you can go to. And if you have the proper paperwork and so forth that shows that it belongs to whoever family member, you can have that resolved.
Who is the people we got to go to?
Well, you can go to the. Planning is one place you can go first and foremost. Get your deed and stuff going on to the registry. Find out about the deed of the property and so forth, and get a lawyer involved.
Okay. Thank you very much for your help. Right?
Have a good morning.
Bye.
All right. 435-2041. Hope I gave him the correct information there. I stumbled on it a wee bit. Let's entertain another caller. Caught me off guard with that one. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Good morning, GT. How are you doing?
I am doing pretty well. How are you this morning?
Good. A long time I don't tell you hello.
Well, good morning and hello to you also.
Yes, everything okay with you?
Doing great.
You must talk to the people and I'm calling and talk on this radio. They must preach about the Almighty God too. They must read out two scriptures.
All right.
Watch what's going on in the world with us today. Everything going always.
All right.
Do you understand? So try to speak to them for them to do that, to do some prayer, do some reading, do some scripture.
All right.
Talk about the Almighty God. They only come and talk about climate change. Have a blessed day.
You too, my dear. Have a good one. All right. 445. So it's going to be an interesting morning. 435-2041. 435-2041. We're taking your calls here on To The Point this morning. Open line for today, Friday. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Morning, GT.
How are you doing this morning, sir?
And the viewers. Now, earlier this morning, there was a conversation on the CDI, investment. I tried profusely to get through, or relentlessly to get through, and I didn't really get through. Because Mr. Duncan uses a passage of scripture that is attributed to Paul, the so-called apostle. Based on my knowledge, having studied theology, Paul, the most controversial person in Christianity, was a politician. So he could have flip-flopped when he's ready. So like when he was convenient for him, he declared he was a Roman citizen. But I don't know how we could justify Roman philosophy or Roman tendency in our modern time. because there are so many things that are not right about this citizen by investment. Regardless of the administration that administering it. When the first version came out years ago, right before the turn of the century, I took the government then to court because I felt that would affect my ability to travel. At that time, I traveled reasonably frequently. And Canada had warned of the possibility of imposing visa restriction on Grenada. They had warned before. That is part of the suit I filed against the government. Soon after, the thing was there was a judgment on it. I wasn't successful. But the suit is very instructive if people want to read. I think it's 598. 598, if I remember correctly. And Judge Brian Allen did attend to the points I made. Unlike the initial judge who wanted to throw it out of court without any consideration, that is Justice Elias Paul. I think people should understand the implication of citizen by investment. The idea is that people having conveniently another citizen to lean on to or to latch into. But it's risky because what if a situation arises where certain people in a certain place are forced to have some problem and they decide to come to Grenada in droves? How will we respond when we have sold rights and privilege through that means to people who we don't even know? We need to have bigger conversation on this. This thing, one time in the new version of this thing, we didn't even know who the people were until the leader of government was pleased in his own pleasure to go in parliament, even against the stipulation of the regulation or so, in terms of the time. And he was the only one at the beginning that knew who was getting. I'm talking about the former government now.
Caller, I asked in the initial stages of the program, let's keep our comments a bit brief this morning, please. Huh?
Yeah. So the thing about it is that, and these have been amended many times to suit what people have. The difference between the current one and the first one, which I told the government to quote, it had limited privilege. For instance, the previous one, the people didn't have the right to vote. Okay? They didn't have certain other rights. Right now, a citizen by investment who bought his citizen can come and vote and come and do anything, and this is not good because it would upset the balance, the demographic balance, and it could cause problems like we have in Fiji and other places.
All right.
We need to take this thing seriously.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Have a good morning. 435-2041, 435-2041. Open line this morning. Feel free to give me that call, 435-2041. Those of you via our social media platform haven't tapped into the social media platform as yet, especially the Facebook page, so I could grab comments from individuals who are there, and they also may have a comment or two. There's also the WhatsApp 435-2041. You could add us to your WhatsApp contact and send me a message, and I will certainly pass it on. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. JT, and how are you? It's a nice rainy morning, and
certainly it is.
For the rain.
Yes. How are you this morning?
I'm very well.
All
Mr.
right.
JT, I have a concern, and it's very, very annoying. When we go to town on a Friday or any day to do our little shopping, we are kind of not molested in a bad way, but we are molested by some of the women in the bus terminal how do you call them again? Not those, they call them the warden, especially one. Buy me a lunch. Buy a malt for me. And it doesn't give you a good taste to go into the bus terminals to get a bus to go to and from.
Does these individuals know you personally?
No, They begging she begging at random. Bus driver, bus conductor, pedestrian, bus riders, and it is very, very annoying. It does not look good for a woman. And then you have a good paying job. You have to harass people not me alone. A lot of us have that problem.
All right.
Oh God, make do with what you have. I want a lunch. I mean, what you said?
I said I understand your plight. Have a good morning, okay? Have a good morning. Have a good morning. 435-2041. 435-2041. That's the number. If you want to get on to the point this morning here on the Classic Radio, GBN TV, make a contribution. Let's get some meaningful contributions this morning. Let's go back to the phone line and get another contribution. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Yes, Mr. Telesford, greetings. Trust that you're all right.
I'm doing good.
Now, Mr. Telesford, I'll be brief as usual, and I want to get back to Tuesday morning a bit, a program which you hosted, where I had the opportunity to ask of subject Keith Mitchell, who served as so-called Prime Minister of Grenada. I made certain statements as comments, some of which, of course, had to do with the handing over without established standards for bidding, or legally known as auctioning of the blocks. And to ask the question relative to the amount of money Grenada gained or earned from the process. I made reference also to EITI, and this is one of the things that bothers me when a person who held such a very important position in this country claims not to know of this. I urge you to check it out, Mr. Telesford, and let the Grenadian people know if I'm telling a lie or not. I was challenged as a liar, Mr. Telesford, in this country. This man says to me and this country that the gentleman and all that he talking are lies. Now, I want to challenge subject Keith Mitchell. There's an Arab saying related to thieves, but I want to change it to lies. The first to tell lies are those who cry, lie first. Mr. Telesford, the truth is, Grenada gave away 11 blocks, select cut-out areas, cut out from seismic research data done in this country by a man called Grinsberg. Some people say Grinsberg. As a matter of fact, this matter, to round up here, led to a court hearing in the state of Texas in the United States between GPG, Grenada Petroleum something or other group, and Grinsberg, where Grinsberg lost for, you know what the court hearing was about? The suit, misuse of anyway. In other words, as if it was his own business, his own, the word just slips me. But anyway, our seismic data was discussed and debated in United States court between two people, and Grenadians don't know about it. For this gentleman to be challenging me as telling lies, I want to say this. Citizen, subject Keith Mitchell, this jackass Rollo, challenge you to a publicly televised, you can arrange it, debate on this matter so that the Grenadian people can understand who is the person telling lies. EITI, Mr. Telesford, I urge you to just click it into your... The Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, based in Norway, which is the gold standard for all type of extraction, whether it be mineral, oil deposits, petroleum otherwise, marine or terrestrial, at a global level. This country has been chiseled by these people. And people of this country have to know the truth. I challenge Keith Mitchell to a publicly televised debate so that he can prove to the people of this country and to the world who, in effect, is the one telling lies. There are many more things to talk about. I'll leave it here for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Have a good morning yourself. 435-2041, 435-2041. Open line this morning here on To The Point. And let's take a couple of the comments via the Facebook page before we go to the next caller. And I'm looking at a comment here from Andrea. She's saying, are there any successful CBI type programs existing all over? She's saying there are some successful CBI program existing all over. It's just on us to make sure that we cross all the T's and dot all the I's. And the model of our program, looking at those we regulate, and look at those who we regulate are the regulated ones. That's what she's saying. Let's take another contribution this morning. Let's go along to this one from Antonio. I happened to listen to the opposition leader Keith Mitchell in what is supposed to have been an engagement with an engagement, but it turned out to be his letting off of his anger, and most of the anger was about the new administration and how they are not doing the work of the people. Let me just get that, the work of the people. Just lost the comment there of the people. Yeah, not doing the work of the people and having gala, spending the people's money, and nothing is happening in the country. The opposition leader knows that all galas have been sponsored by the different NDC party members in the diaspora, and not 1 cent was from the coppers of the Grenada being used for any of the functions attended by the PM and other members of his cabinet. And that was a comment there from someone on that. Well, that's not someone. Let's say Antonio. Yeah, I think I changed your name just a wee bit, Antonio. But let's do for a break. Let's take it. When we come back, we take more of your comments and phone calls here on To The Point this morning. Let's take that break. We're coming right back.
Then you have things like man, you must come back, you know. We have the low folder.
It is kind of like the same man, and it's just different name for the same kind of thing.
And last but not least, I just want to say to all the men who saw me, call me, and ask for a piece of cake. I'm baking this weekend.
Join us Fridays at 8 on GBN Television, K105 FM, GBN's Facebook page, and YouTube channel for We Culture.
I want you to control your anger. There's a way to feel better. That's one thing to remember. No matter where you are, you can be a star. Stop and take a deep breath and relax yourself. Take another deep breath and relax it. Eliminate violence.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers. It's To The Point for today, Friday, the 3rd of November. Open line this morning here on To The Point. So you listeners out there, viewers via GBN TV, you can also give me that call, 435-2041. And let me hear from you this morning. Let me hear what bit of a concern that you do have that you want to express. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing nation.
All right.
The other activity that we want for Thursday going there, we can make preparation for the carnage.
Mm-hmm.
There is a nice tree in the end in the plaza there, we had an umbrella for man to cut for the sunlight and nice little shade. You know, they cut down the tree just hold the program. They show on the carnage.
Yeah.
They talk about climate change. And nice umbrella tree was only on one stone and shade from the sun.
So the tree was completely cut down, or was it trimmed?
The tree was man cut down all the tree quarter and the other black branches out of up. What can I back on example? The only about climate change, destroying umbrella tree in the Hatatong or some Hatat fire disease. And them cut down tree.
All right. All right, man. All right. Have a good morning. Have a good morning.
We're back on this.
All right, man. 435-2041, 435-2041. A caller complaining there about the tree. Well, then he did correct and said the tree was not actually cut down, but was more or less trimmed, I would say. Let's take a comment from someone via the WhatsApp this morning. Good morning, GT. There are many yachts across Grenada. Is Grenada benefiting anything from the owners? Most time they are hardly seeing the horizon. So trying to guess where that comment is going. Caller, good morning, welcome.
Yeah, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing well. Good morning to you.
Morning. You know what I am concerned about? I didn't listen 100% this morning about the Citizen by Investment program. I'm talking about passport selling. That is two different things. But I'm really concerned that the government is placing too much emphasis on the CIB, Citizen by Investment program. I think that they need to diversify a bit, because I was hoping that, you get a young, new, fresh set of people, that they will come with different ideas to take this country forward. But I'm not seeing that happen. They didn't come with no big set of ideas, because most of the things I see they're doing right now, what Keith Mitchell doing, I have a problem with that. Let me make it abundantly clear. But going back to the crux of the matter, I find there's too much dependent on the CBI program. I remember when the political leader was in the campaign, he was talking about bringing back the glory days of when Grenada was the Isle of, because we are known for the Isle of Spice, and we were real in Indonesia. Second to, after Indonesia, I think we was the best producing nutmeg and cocoa, and just about, I think it's nutmeg. And nutmeg is really high in demand all over the world, because sometimes when I look at the television, nutmeg plays a very crucial part of, especially, well, just about everything. And I was hoping that they would start the replanting, and you will see a massive replanting of the agriculture sector. But I have not seen that. All I'm hearing about is this selling of this passport business, and that is two separate. I'm talking about the CBI. But the CBI program that I'm zeroing about, that I'm concerned that the government, you all need to do better than that, have more ideas, and diversify diversify, because
Caller, can I ask you a question?
Only dependent on CBI.
Caller, can I ask you a question, please?
Yeah.
Are you understanding the difference between the CBI? Do you understand totally what the CBI program is about?
Yes,
you totally
I know.
Understand it?
Yeah. So that is. So I understand what the CBI program is all about. Long since in Keith Mitchell days, and in this morning too. But all I'm saying to you and to people outside is that I think that we should stop. I find that it's too much over-dependent. I'm not saying we should forget about it or we shouldn't pursue it, because let me tell you, this CBI program is not only in Grenada. America have it, all parts of the world have it, where you put money and you invest and you get citizenship. It's a regular thing, so I don't have no problem with that. Let me make it abundantly clear. I want to jump up on my chest. But all I'm saying, they need to diversify. There's too much over-reliance on the CBI, and the government needs to come up with more better ideas, new ideas to diversify the economy, so that if one thing happens, we wouldn't feel the shocks. That's all I'm saying. All right?
Caller, thank you so much. Have a good morning. 435-2041, 435-2041. It's an open line this morning here on To The Point. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
While I agree with what the lady just said and others, I don't think people are paying enough attention to what's happening in agriculture, and that's a problem. I think the problem is getting the information out. There's a lot happening in agriculture. A lot.
All right.
It's just to get the information across to people, right? For example, or Minister of Agriculture is now the chairman of the Board of Governors concerning CADI and what have you. So there's a lot happening. It's just getting the information to the people.
Why are people not knowing about these things that are occurring?
Well, it's a typical NDC problem. Once in power, you don't hear much. They do a lot, but you don't hear much.
All right.
So it's a PR that has to be fixed. There's a lot happening. The CBI program is just one aspect, and it deals with in case there's a shock and some disaster, and then there's a buffer there. But it's important too, because if you're going to develop agriculture, where are we going to sell all the stuff. So the housing stock, the hotel stock is very important to build it at a certain level if you're going to make the international airport mean something. If you go to the airport, it's just too quiet down there. Other than a few days when you have the American and JetBlue, it's just too quiet. So to make that work, it's a marriage between the hotel stock and agriculture, and there's a lot. As I said, there's a lot happening in agriculture. We're not hearing about it. I'm hearing about it because I search for the information.
All right, caller.
And people can go to the GIS. They had to probably get more onto GIS and see if they get some more information. But a lot is happening there.
Thank you for your contribution, caller. Thank you so much. And you certainly made a great point there. 435-2041. Let's go back to the phone line. 25 minutes after the hour. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
Yes. I'm asking a question. I hope somebody from the CBI office will call in and answer this question. We are doing citizens by investment. We have that program going on. Now, it will work out to be thousands of people having passports, obtaining passports, non-nationals obtaining passports. Now, take for instance, if you have a war going on in Russia, for example, because you have a lot of Russians taking out passports. And they're probably not taking out these passports like guests, but we are not thinking here. Once you have a passport, you can come to this country and stay in the country because you have a right by the passport. Now, what about if we have thousands of people coming into Grenada if there's a problem in the country and coming in here to stay here? What will happen to us in Grenada? We'll end up back in Leapers Hill. We'll have to jump over the rock.
That's pushing it a bit. Though.
Yeah, but yeah, it's sounding like pushing it a bit. But 5 or 10 years down the road, it could actually happen. I want somebody from the CBI office to call in and give me a clear explanation on what I am asking here. This is a serious matter. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Thank you also for your contribution this morning. 435-2041. 435-2041. It's an open line this morning. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning. I guess the caller is not paying attention. We may have to move on. 435-2041. 435. Let's entertain another caller. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Telesford.
Good morning to you.
I must agree with the previous caller in one point. Even the CBI program, there's elements of good in it for the country. But if it continues and it goes in an astronomical manner, we could be leaping over the hill practically into Leapers Hill or other hill practically. Yeah, I'll just make my substantive point, and if you will bear with me. A few weeks ago, GBN had a program on the television news about the government of Guyana getting a grant to build houses from Saudi Arabia for the people. Now, you all showed the houses. They were, I think, I painted navy blue. Now, these houses were on stilts, and there was a space under the houses where probably the homeowner could add a downstairs if they wish. There was also a space around the house where the homeowner could plant probably a banana tree or whatever. And I felt jealous. I felt envious. I said, Lord, I wonder why the Grenadian government couldn't get a deal for all people like that. And I thought of what Dr. Keith negotiated, the NNP government and probably NDC probably too, because they were there before, negotiated for all people this orange painted 3-story building on hill. And I do agree with Dr. Prime Minister Deacon that the culture of Grenada didn't seem to be taken into consideration when these houses were negotiated for. One, let me tell you why. Grenadians are a very private people, most of them. They like their own space. Two, most Grenadians don't like bright colors. I know that about my people.
But Kola, if I could interject, can you hear one second? You know, Guyana, for instance, we cannot rage the comparison because, landmass for one is available for houses of that particular, being built up in that particular nature. You understand?
Yeah, I understand that.
And we don't have the landmass to accommodate houses of that nature here in Grenada. And I do understand where you're coming from in terms of what we have gotten from the Chinese.
Yes. But understand, so Grenada, the population here is very small still, and we have a lot of land, we have a lot of wasteland. lands. But I'm thinking too, you talk about
you say we have a lot of wastelands.
Well, I mean, lands are not just in high woods, so to speak. So I'm thinking too, the aesthetic needs of the people who aren't taken into consideration in terms of Canadians. Sometimes they like to be outside. They want a little, probably tree outside or a little bench outside where they could sit on a line. But with these houses, that can't happen. And, all of this. So I'm suggesting that if the government is going to build houses again for the people, take into consideration the cultural nature of the people, the little aesthetic value. Yeah, it's poor people, but it's people. The people are people, and they have a lot of different needs. And in addition, Mr. Telesford, everybody talking about the CIS program, I'm going to go back there. I find that since this program is coming into the country, and along with SG is there, it has its great purposes, but I find the cost of rent is astronomical, and people only asking for U.S. and the lands, Grenadian lands are being sold at very high prices because people are thinking, they'll get a CBS citizen to buy the land. And the average Grenadian cannot buy land. The average young people who will work in these hotels and they cannot buy land as it is in Grenada. So I see that there is a great need for the government to provide housing, and probably Dr. Kidd see that, and I applaud him for that. I'm not bashing him. But again, what the government needs to do going forward is to take into consideration the nature of the people, the cultural context of the within which they live. Are you telling me that people in this 3-story and 2-story building have to buy everything that they have to eat when we know that we call them poor and vulnerable? So they can't plant a bunch of figs, as we say, banana, to get a hand of fig. They don't have a family member to hand them a hand of fig. They have to face the grocery store. So thank you for entertaining me. I want to give another speaker a caller a chance.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. Have a good one. Folks, we drew for a break. Let's take it. When we come back, we entertain more of your calls. Stay with us here on To The Point for Today, Friday.
Hey there, Grenada. Exciting news is taking flight.
Coming up on Caribbean Passport, food and rum cravings acting up? Well, it's that time of year in Barbados. Over 1,000 runners on the streets of Port of Spain. It's the newest road race challenge, a Pan-Am's premiere. It's all next on this station.
Coming up on Caribbean Medical, breast cancer.
And millions of women are every year surviving breast cancer and living full and complete lives.
So once again, promotion, prevention, these are areas that we need to strengthen on so that we can even get early detection and then we can walk from there.
Caribbean Medical, right here on this station.
Being aware of your body, empowering yourselves as women, and ensuring that we do what is best for us. If we don't look after ourselves, we cannot take care of our families and our husbands and our workforce.
It's important to seek what's called a medical wellness checkup, and your family practitioner, your local health center, or even a specialist can guide you through what may be right for you.
Caribbean Medical, right here on this station.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers, to The Point for today, Friday, the 3rd of November. It's an open line this morning. Feel free to give me that call, 435-2041. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Not too bad, sir. Go right ahead with your contribution.
Yeah, I want to ask a question. What the government doing there? I mean, it's not illegal, right? What about all the people, Grenadians, all the people who go to America who is legal and all these things? So because people come into Grenada and they get in a passport, that's a problem. How many Grenadians travel to America, Canada, England, all these places, who illegal, who got citizenship and all these things, who got passport? I don't see a problem with that. If the government ain't doing, they say the government ain't doing nothing. They have to do something. Money had to come by somehow.
All right.
It's not nothing illegal.
All right, caller, thank you. Thank you so much. 435-2041, 435-2041. We're going back to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Mr. Telesford.
Good morning,
I beg your indulgences for less than a minute.
Go ahead. Go right ahead.
A while ago in my contribution, I stumbled a bit because something slipped me. The issue with Greensburg and GPG was indeed about the violation of trade secrets. That was what the suit was all about. But you know something, Mr. Telesford? This trade secrets that was referred to there, in fact, was the seismic research data for the hydrocarbon reserves of our country. Our country. That is why I oftentimes ask the questions. So less Grenadians are unclear of this matter. It is important that we get Keith Mitchell to debate with me on the matter. Thank you very much, sir.
Have a good one yourself, sir. 435-2041, 435-2041. We do have another caller. Let's entertain them. Good morning to you. Welcome. Good morning to you, caller.
Yes, sir. Hello. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
Yes, good morning. The lady you had to call and the last gentleman before Mr. Rowland and the other one, and talking about the passport with the Russians. What I am saying, we, the government of Grenada, do not have no right to sell passports for Russians. I'm telling you, because I know what kind of people they are. I used to work in ships. I went there many times, and I know. So I want this government to cut it out. The Russians and them they wouldn't invest here. They're having here as a shield for them in case of anything, and most of them are spies. Anyhow, you thanks very much, all right.
Have a good one yourself. 435-2041, 435-2041. That's a number. And you can certainly have the opportunity to go live and express your views and comments this morning. Good morning to you, caller. Welcome.
Yeah, you see, a few quick things in terms of correction, including the last caller about what he said about the Russians are not only the only people that are buying citizenship. We have to be honest. It's bought by people who have money. In fact, right now, Grenada is not allowed to sell to Russians and Ukrainians on instruction by the American Treasury. Grenada and some of the other Caribbean islands. This is a fact, which I have difficulty in the sense that although I don't support citizen investment, how a country that is sovereign can be instructed by the next country who to sell the stuff for it once they decide to do it. But at some point, GC, I want to really applaud you when you try to raise the issue with the woman about wasteland. That's a concept we need to really get right there. There's no wasteland. You could either misuse land or underuse land. In fact, what people consider wasteland is not really wasteland. It's more helpful to the environment and the ecology when it's unused. Who say that? Because as a human being, change the use of land, that is helpful to the ecology. So these are some of the issues that we had to contend with. There's so many things that people have wrong, but particularly when we discuss anything, we must discuss it in context.
All right.
In terms of the decision by investment, the whole way this thing is evolved, I think because of mental laziness by the part of the first administration and even this one, where we can't think about anything more creative, because we have to deal with the issue of the possible demographic change. Just imagine if forever the current administration and the people who are administrating the system by investment don't believe that people would flock here in a high and light possibly true. But if for whatever reason these people decide to descend on us, what would happen? And I agree with the folks who said about it as an elderly person. We have to consider, so money is not everything. Yes, you get in money and it's helping to do certain things, but at the end of the day, money don't even have value.
All right, man. Have a good one. 435-2041, 435-2041. Approximately 20 minutes left on today's program. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, I've been listening to every.
Caller, for some reason you're breaking up a wee bit. I'm not sure what's the problem. It's probably on your end, and just like that we may have lost your connection. 435-2041, 435-2041. And interesting some comments on the Facebook page. We're going to get to those comments shortly. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, welcome. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
This citizen by investment issue is a dangerous one. Grenada's land is limited. Grenada's people must have first preference. And as a matter of fact, those who are promoting it and defending it, tell them have a board. Wait, Mr. Gonzalez of St. Vincent. It will be interested. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you also. 435-2041. If you want to go live here on the program this morning, express your views and concerns. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Not too bad. Go right ahead. Would you mind, before you continue, there's a radio or your television in the background. Could you have it lowered, please?
Just 1 second.
Yeah, I need my hearing for the rest of my life. Go right ahead, please.
The comment that I wanted to make is that I'm hearing a lot of, I wouldn't say criticism, concern being raised about the rate of which the CBI program is being used. My little comment on that is people are asking at the same time for the diversification of our economy. Yeah? Mm-hmm. And based on my knowledge, my little knowledge of the program, that same program could be used in diversity as well, in terms of the projects and whatever industry that could be developed there. What I would suggest is that the government would somewhat position those persons who is coming. Some of them may want to make a direct investment. Some of them may just want to put money there, and the government itself can utilize that very said money in terms of diversifying of the economy. There is another thought that, well, it is not people will come in here. It's like a swarm. And I don't believe that position is all credible. I don't know why people are. It makes you frightened when you listen to it, you know. But I don't think it is something that would happen, as some people is making it out to be. The issue about the land, in terms of the spike in the rate of land, that has been happening a long time ago, and that too the government could put measures in place in terms of alien, because yes, when you become a citizen here, you're not an alien anymore. But I think some measure could be put in place to cushion this sort of thing, where people from outside have that privilege over the local people in terms of purchasing the land.
All right.
One last thing before I go in relation to you. I listened to a video clip where you was the host of a program with the former Prime Minister. And as I've said to other persons, I believe persons like yourself need to reverse those statements when they are made. We remain silent in the chair and don't say anything because you're hosting. I mean, here was the former Prime Minister lambasting your station for certain people calling the radio station and making contribution. You have an open line. I mean, you don't direct who calling and when they calling. And I mean, your station is a credible station for people calling in and making very good contribution. And I would like that to continue. But the statement that was made by the former Prime Minister, it was very, 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 very disheartening. Thank you and have a good morning.
Have a good morning yourself. 435-2041, 435-2041, 15 minutes before we wrap today's program. Let's take another caller. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. No, I'm talking on the behalf of everybody now. I'm a farmer now. Now, everybody should cry out for the rain and the sun. Now, we getting some rain now. And I know a lot of people have lands and garden nowadays. Are you please plant something, stick something, and we in the Christmas season holiday now. And I'm begging people, please do not, especially for we farmers plant yam, do not dig the bed yam, because I've seen a lot of yams around in the market now, and that's spoiling the food. According to the talk, the yam white, the bottom of the yam white. So I'm and it's time for the authority to pass all of the sidewalk in the market and let it present that the farmers ID card. I have one, and if you haven't got your farmers ID card, you have to show your receipt who you buy things from. That I will say, good morning, and good morning to the Prime Minister, and good morning to all the hard-working farmers of the nation, and also you too.
Thank you, sir. Have a good morning. Folks, we drew for a break. Let's take it. We're coming back inside with our final segment. Stay with us.
It's beginning to look cold.
Mention the wing high, then you have things like man, you must come back, you know. We have the low power that.
It is kind of like the same man, and it's just different name for the same kind of thing.
And last but not least, I just want to say to all the men who saw me, call me, and ask for a piece of cake. I'm baking this weekend.
Join us Fridays at 8 on GBN Television, K105 FM, GBN's Facebook page, and YouTube channel for We Culture.
I want to control your...
Welcome back, listeners and viewers. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
JT, good morning.
Good morning to you.
There's so much I wanted to talk about, but I know the time is not enough. Anyway, sometime last week or week before, on two different occasions, I heard mention on GBN about a woman was speaking about, I think, I'm not sure which program it was speaking about the LGBTQ and also sex workers. And I wonder, I shudder, my blood ran cold to hear somebody of whatever organization they were from talking about our women as sex workers. I don't know we have such a job description in Grenada. But you're talking about removing the stigmatization and blah, blah, blah about the sex workers and the LGBTQ, promoting sexual impropriety as dictated by the Word of God. And I want to say to our nation and to our people, if we do not turn to God and pray, God is going to judge this nation for the sins that we are committing. What is a sex worker? Okay, if it's a job description as a sex worker, will we teach educate our children on sex working? What does it involve? What is the job description for a sex worker? And what is a queer? I don't know what is a queer. God never made anything. He made male, he made female. But I don't know what is L, what is G, what is B, and T and Q. I don't know where these genders come from. So they come straight from the pit of hell. They can't even come from God. And if this organization, whichever that woman represents, would stay there and speak that in the public, in the times when our children have been exposed to these things, I don't know what kind of nation we're going to build for the future. So Grenadians, we need to pray and ask God to deliver Grenada from the pit that it is falling into. Because God took us out from the previous administration because of what they were doing, and it seems that as though we open a way for the same things or maybe even worse.
All right, Colin.
So we have to, pardon me?
Anything further?
Yes, I just said we have to pray. We have to, and I don't know, we have to stop these things and remember our children. What we teach them now, what we put in them now will be what the future would be for Grenada. And so we have to be careful what kind of future we want for our country and what we want for our children.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. 445-2041. Open line here on To The Point this morning. Let's go back and entertain another caller. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Yes, just quickly. When I talk about over-reliance on the CBI, I was referring to, I want to believe, to the best of my knowledge, a report by the International Monetary Fund the last time or the time before. They speak of the over-reliance on the CBI program, and also I think it was about 77% of taxes collected from the CBI. So that is why when I say that I find they should diversify, I think that they should diversify and come up with some new ideas. Also, if you're thinking about getting people, you have CBI, what about why they don't invest in the productive sectors, like some part right now in Satyas or whatever it is, Grenville had some chicken farm, courtesy Kotola, and it closed down because the amount of imported chicken, we could reduce the food import bill on chicken in particular, which millions of pounds. So if you have in that program, then diversify, we would use the CBI program to promote that. But all they're doing is a set of hotel, and the ladies correct about the lands, Grenadians just won't be able to buy lands, and just not all this amount of passport people selling. What is going to happen in Grenada? So people are just expressing concerns, right? So I'm just telling you what I think to the best of my knowledge. The IMF said about the over-reliance on the CBI program and how much revenue coming. So therefore, we need to have better ideas and diversify the economy for all of us. You just can't have one thing alone. You all come up with new ideas, man. It's time to be creative.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. 445-2041. 445-2041. 10 minutes on left on today's program. Let's go back to the phone line. You're welcome, caller. Good morning.
Good morning, GT. How
good
are
morning.
You,
Not bad at all. Go right ahead, please.
Okay, good. GT, the guy who called earlier on about the land problem, which is really true. This guy he was an old police. I don't know how true it is. Going on and find out people that don't pay the thing and trying to take the land because Unison White man, sister, they have a lot of lands, a couple of hundred of lands. That's his mother's land. And I'm telling you, this guy go up there and he starts working land crazy as if he buy the land. And they try to stop him because the sister is in Canada and she called and she tried to put something against to stop him from going to the property right now. So what he's saying is true. Number two, we need a lot of more hotels in Grenada. Because we don't have enough hotels. Bahamas alone, 2 hotels in Bahamas, bigger than what we have in Grenada. If you want more flight coming and cheaper flight, we must have more hotels in Grenada. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
You too, sir. Have a good one. 435-2041. 435-2041. That's a number. If you want to get on live on the program this morning, here it's To The Point. Open line for today, Friday. Our final program for this week. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. I'm going to change the topic a little bit. I noticed that on the morning program for the last few mornings, Innocent has been talking about Captain Harris building these bus stops all over the island. And I think it's a great initiative. But the question arises, we citizens can't go around building bus stops, building trash can receptacles, building gazebos. We have a system, we have rules, and we have regulations. So in all of this applaud, I have not heard Captain Harris is working with physical planning. Captain Harris is working with Ministry of this. Captain Harris is working with Ministry of that, and he is funding it. He is now going to Marquis, Soubise, La Femme, these things. Where is the regulation? I have a concern. Is physical planning involved? There are rules, there are regulations, how many feet you can build from the center of the road for safety purposes. So I think someone needs to look into this Captain Harris, going around just putting bus stops all over the place. It sounds nice, but we have rules, we have regulations, we have safety issues. Where is physical planning? Where is the ministry behind him? Who is regulating him? we can't all go around doing what we want in Grenada. So I think we need some more explanation from Captain Harris and from the whole initiative as to where this is coming from, where is the authority, who is behind it, how legal it is, and is he doing things within the ambit of the regulations that we have in physical planning, and what other ministry is behind this. Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your contribution also, caller. 435-2041, 435. It's an open line this morning, which means you listeners and viewers have the option of calling in and share your views and concerns. Thought I'd disengage that line. 435-2041. We still have time to accommodate a couple more of your calls, and I did promise to go to the Facebook page and grab some of the comments there, and I will certainly try to do so shortly before I wrap this morning. And let's take a caller while I review some of the comments before I get into that. Caller, your phone or whatever, not your phone, but whatever device in the background is way too loud. I'm sorry, I would not be able to accommodate your call. And let's take this caller again. 435-2041. That's the number. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. GT. How are you today?
I'm all right. Go right ahead, please.
Yeah, well, I'm going to make some little comments there. Well, for instance, I think I'm not seeing enough of the benefits of the CBI program on the ground for the locals, because apparently the government, when they get the money, they're doing spending to projects and what certain things, but some of the things we must see them more is like proper sidewalk for the people, you know, and things like what the lady said about the bus stop, proper bus stop, shed. Look, I just came from the Caranage. The people waiting for the boat to go to Carriacou, some have to leave and go and shelter in the fire station. They have to go back in their vehicle because the shed they have there, the rain blowing in, wetting people, and time coming the boat have to leave. I look at the fire station, our policemen are people that protecting our citizens. Window don't have no glass in front. One a big piece of thing break out. The other one, the same piece of stick that the guy pushing to hold up the window that lift up so water could come in. What are we doing? Beautifying at the Caranage, the nutmegs and them the male Jew. No, the poles, if they cannot maintain something, if you leave it at its natural how it is better. The iron pole, if you leave it just as it is, as when you buy it with the chrome or whatever it look just as because it's unified. But some paint, some scratch up, pieces of wall breaking up. There's a lot of things we have to do. We have, for instance, you or me, you might have a house with a upstairs and downstairs or just pillars below. You have a place under the house where you put in your little spade and your little storage. Grenada have a thing called infrastructure. They don't have a wheelbarrow. All they have is office. Bring the public works back. Make a proper public work part so you could you have people to maintain a lot of these things in government places and things like that. And get somebody to one of the same money from the Citizens Investment Program to get a public works department going. Lose the money, but you have people here that know what to do and how to do it. We need to maintain. Maintenance is a very important thing. If you have a little bit of paint stay and you don't have a place to put it, it's out in the rain, you're going to spoil it, but you could have used it last year. We need the public works. The last time I heard that somebody talk about the public works department with a minister, you say, all right, public works, we're going back to the old days of the wheelbarrow. Wheelbarrow, they're neglecting all houses in Grenada have a wheelbarrow. Any construction you're going to see a wheelbarrow. Wheelbarrow is a very important piece of equipment. So I don't know why they're bashing these things. The same thing to help you. All they're looking about what foreigners could do. Foreigners cannot build Grenada. They could help, but it's we, the people that put our hands together and build Grenada.
All right, Kola. Thank you so much also for your contribution this morning. Let's grab a couple of comments before we wrap. We just have about a minute or so left on today's program. GT, the lady who called about the social issues like LGBT and other matters need to be aware of and tolerate others' views views and way of life. She does not have the authority to scold or demand people follow her views or ideology. Let's take another comment here once again before we take a wrap. Good morning. I agree with the farmer, and I hope police would check farmers' ID and help the farmers not to lose their produce. That's a comment there from Heather this morning. And any other comment that I could roll through? Let me say good morning to Antonio and happy birthday. I understand it's your birthday today. I just saw the comment. And blessings going on to you. Hope you have an enjoyable day today and enjoy your day to the fullest. Hey, folks, it's 10 a.m. That's what we're going to take a wrap for today's program. Thank all who contributed to today's program. Thank you so much for your calls, your comments. Thank you so much. And for being with us for the entire week. Join us again next week when we have another edition for you of To The Point. Hey, folks, Jingle and Mingle kicks off here at 10 a.m. this morning. And, of course, that's where we launch off our Christmas program here on Classic Radio and GBN TV. Join us for that. We'll be live on various outlets today, and you can certainly be part of it. That's why I say goodbye. Have yourself a good one, folks. Goodbye.